What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon NBA DFS video. It is Tuesday. It is February 27th, and we are back with a normal feeling slate. So there's a ton of games on the slate, but they actually only have, I believe, 9 games on this slate that we can play. Let's see, 2, 4, 6. Yeah, so 9 games we can play. We're still going to go over it. We're still going to cover it. If you've never been here before, hopefully you're in for a treat. If you find this helpful, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over the Vegas odds, then we're going to look into the games and the players that we like. Now, this is just one step. So a video we're breaking down each game. If you want to see a little bit more, click the link in the description of this video. Those are the players that we like at each position. 3 top, 3 mid, and 3 value players with our projections on there. So check those out, and on top of that, if you need a little bit more help, we have a cheat sheet, we have optimal lineups, we have other stuff on the website. You can go to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, FTA Plus, $24.99 for a month, or if you use the promo code MLBVIP, you can get a full year of MLB, NASCAR, NBA, NFL, PGA, maybe MMA if we bring it back, all for $75 using the promo code MLBVIP instead of $199. So, that being said, anytime a video gets at least 50 likes, you leave a comment, you are a YouTube subscriber, you have a chance to win a free week of content. 100 likes is a chance to win a free month, 125 likes is a chance to win a free year, and if our videos ever get 150 or more likes, you leave a comment, you are a YouTube subscriber, you have a chance to win a lifetime pass worth $500. Another way to do it, be a subscriber, leave a comment of the player, like the video obviously, but leave a comment of the player you think is going to score the most amount of DraftKings fantasy points, and how many fantasy points will they score. You get that correct, and we will give you a free week of content. If you predict or if you guess their exact outing, their exact DraftKings fantasy points, we're going to give you a free year. So we had a winner yesterday with Jokic. Let's see who can win today on this video. That being said, like I said, normally if we get at least 50 likes on a video, we'll have a giveaway. But I'm feeling generous. So we are going to have a giveaway from yesterday's video. So anyone who left a comment, you liked the video and left a comment, you have a chance to win right now. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to check out who the winner is. So good luck to whomever it may be. Let's rock and roll. So the winner of the free week is Clean Slate 2564, saying, I like your process when building a lineup. Haven't seen that approach before, so bonus for 60 fantasy points. So Clean Slate, if you are watching this video today, like this, and then email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. That's dfshelp, the number 1 at gmail.com, with a username and an email that you would like to use on the website, and we will get you set up for that. So, congratulations again, Clean Slate. You can win every single day. Back and back and back. Come back, win, leave comments, win. That's how we do it. So, congratulations to Clean Slate. So, that being said, most of the stuff is going to be on the website for tomorrow, or for today. Most of the stuff is going to be out early. I have be traveling for a doctor's appointment. I don't know if I'll have reception. I don't know if I'll be back in time for slates to lock. So all of our stuff will be posted pretty early, depending on when you watch this video. Just a heads up. I will have my phone with me. I don't know if I'll have reception enough, but I will try to answer any questions you guys do have. So that being said, let's take a look at the Vegas numbers real quick. So we can see we've got Golden State versus Washington, all the way to Charlotte versus Milwaukee. So there's going to be some players that you like. The ton of games, I like when there's a ton of games like this, when you guys are trying to guess who's going to score the most, because there's just a wide range of values and players that can come out that I absolutely love this part. So we got Golden State versus Washington. I'm surprised Golden State's only a 9.5 point favorite right now with a 241.5 over under. I'm looking at them. Wouldn't be surprised if Steph goes for 50 real points. The problem is if it's a blowout and they pull him, but I love Steph today. Clay, Draymond, those are the guys that I'm looking for. Washington side, we'll take a look and see if there's any ones that jump out. Brooklyn versus Orlando, as of right now, -6.5. Orlando, I don't mind some of those plays, and we'll look at them. Dallas versus Cleveland. Cleveland a 2.5-point favorite right now, 234 over under. We've got Philly versus Boston. Boston being a 11.5-point favorite. Could spell blowout. I don't know. We'll kind of see. But we got a 226 over under there. Utah versus Atlanta. Atlanta being a 3.5-point favorite, 236 over under. New Orleans, New York, they don't have anything there. San Antonio versus Minnesota. We've got Minnesota being a 10.5-point favorite over San Antonio. Still love me some Wimby today. 223.5 over under, so a little lower over under. Detroit versus Chicago. Actually, it's kind of surprised. Detroit's normally hovering around 9.5 or double-digit underdogs. Only 7.5 right now. Depending on when you watch this video, obviously it's probably changed by now. But we were looking at that. Chicago 7.5-point favorites. Charlotte versus Milwaukee is the last one we can use on this slate. We've got Milwaukee being a 12.5-point favorite. I am scared of the blowout here. At 224.5 over under. Giannis obviously makes sense to use. If he can come through and dominate like Jokic did the other day before it became, before it's a blowout, I'm okay with this. But Giannis might be a little bit too expensive if he can't pull through. So, that being said, that's the over-unders. We're going to look at the games real quick. And then at the end, we're going to build a lineup. Now, this is not the only way to build a lineup. This is one way to build a lineup, using one of the many tools we have on the site. If you go to NBA tab, you can see all of the tools we have here. Trends, minutes played, fantasy points allowed by position, Vegas odds. All of these are on the site. Some of them are free. Some of them are part of FTA+. So, if you've got any questions, comments, concerns, get those down below, or you can always email us, or in the description of this video is the Discord link to our Discord channel. So Golden State, Washington. Obviously, we're looking at Golden State. Big time here. Curry makes sense. I love Curry here. Kuminga, Draymond Green, Podziemski, like Klay Thompson. Like these guys, I feel good about. Is Chris Paul back? He doesn't have a designation. Oh, he will be available Tuesday. The minutes are probably not there. Don't know what to expect there. Hasn't played since the 5th of January, so it's definitely something to look at. But yeah, I'm looking at Golden State here. I feel 100% confident with Curry, and then Kuminga, Green, and it kind of goes down a little bit with Podziemski. Jordan Poole, is he going to have the revenge game against Draymond? We'll see. But those plays, I do like. Washington side, Kuzma, a little bit. Trey Jones. That's probably it. I don't really like a ton of Washington side. Brooklyn, Orlando, Bonchero questionable. Then he was we did the lineup, or we did the video. We put him in one of our lineups, and then he was out for that game. With an illness, he's questionable now. They may have removed the tag by the time you watch this. So at 8,400, I'm okay with him. I don't mind him. Wagner for Orlando, Wendell Carter and Jalen Suggs. I like these guys. Tournaments, I'm okay with. Flip side of that, Brooklyn guys, Cam Thomas, Nick Claxton. That's basically it. Like maybe a little bit of Cam Johnson too. That's probably what the most I want to do in this game right now. Again, throughout the day, that's when value opens up. That's when maybe Paolo's out, Ben Simmons is out. All these guys are from questionable to out, and that'll bring up value. So that is why I tell everybody, go check out our projections. We have value projections. We have full projections using our cheat sheet. With the cheat sheet, we have normally 6 to 7 players at each position for cash and 6 to 7 players at each position for tournament. So it gives a good player pool. Then you can break it down by using our video, break it down by using over-unders if you want, and stuff like that. So before I jump into the Dallas-Cleveland, I did film a video. You can see the chair right behind me and the tripod. If you've been with us in our channel since probably 2019, we used to do baseball card openings all the time. We'd rip wax, hobby boxes, blasters, whatever it was. We'd normally rip it. Then COVID hit and the prices skyrocketed. I used to run the hobbycrate.com. which was a monthly subscription box with hobby packs in it. I'm mulling around the idea of bringing that back. I don't know how many of new people watching are into sports cards or watching rips. So let me know down below if you guys are interested in that kind of content. I'm going to post that video. I did Series 1 Fanatics exclusive with the blue parallel or the teal parallel. So I'm going to draw. I don't know when that video is coming out, but that video will come out. But let me know. Would you guys be interested in those kind of videos? Would you guys be interested in hobby breaks or bringing back the website and doing monthly subscription boxes? Like, if that's something you're interested in, comment down below just to see if there is any interest. And there's a lot of new people to the channel that are very active that we didn't have back when we did that. So I just wanted to put that out there. So Dallas, Cleveland. Luka is questionable. I don't know why. Let me see. Probable. He's questionable, but he will play. Love him there. Not as much. I don't know if I want to pay up $12,000, but I don't mind him. Donovan Mitchell makes a lot of sense. Has a fantastic matchup here against Dallas. If Luka wasn't 100%, Kyrie would be the guy I'd go with. Dallas side, PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford would be the lowest I would go. Don't know if I want much exposure to him. Cleveland side, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, Garland, LeVert. I'd probably go down to LeVert for Cleveland, and I'd go down to Gafford. And that's probably as far as I would go in this matchup. Philly versus Boston, obviously Embiid being out X amount of more games, maybe the season. Jason Tatum, obviously love him. Had him the other day as the picture of the video in the article. Tyrese Maxey is supposed to be that dude every game while Embiid is out, so we're still waiting to make sure that's safe. Brown, Porzingis, Tobias Harris, Derek White, Buddy Hield. I'm looking at those guys. I don't really want much to do with... I don't think I would go with Holiday, Oubre, or Reed. I'd look a little bit at Horford, but that's basically it. Kyle Lowry has not... He played 21 minutes and 25 minutes here. They finally played him in there. Kyle Lowry, it just depends what we're going to get out of him. I don't know. Being traded... I guess he was traded to Charlotte, then they released him, and then he came to Philly. He would be a valuable, cheaper option at $4,200. Just really depends on what we're going to get out of him. Again, 21 minutes there, 14 fantasy points. 25 minutes there, 22.5. Not the best track record there. But again, obviously conditioning, hadn't played for so long. That's what we're looking for. So value, I'm okay with Kyle Lowry. Again, news needs to come out. If he does get the start, if he gets 20-plus minutes, he's okay. Has an okay matchup here. Utah versus Atlanta. Utah always is scoring a ton. Murray, Mark Cannon, Jalen Johnson, Colin Sexton, Bojanovic. Love me some Bogdan Bojanovic here. Clarkson, I don't mind. Sadiq Bey. Keontae George, he let us down last time. They pumped up his price. You could see he had a good game at 4,700, then not good game. Then they pumped up his price, and then 22.75 was not enough for me. So he's pricing me out. They're starting to price Keontae George out. If his price comes down, I would be okay with it. I don't like it right now. Walker Kessler, I want some exposure there. Taylor Hendricks, I do want some exposure there. We used him Sunday night. Didn't do the best, and they have priced him up to 4,100. So that's probably scared off of that one there. New Orleans versus the Knicks. Brunson, I love me some Brunson. Zion, Brandon Ingram, Dante, Precious, Josh Hart, Hartenstein, Bojan Bojanovic, I'm okay with. It's probably as low as I'm going to go. I don't think I want much with Trey Murphy or Herbert Jones today. Again, maybe value opens up throughout the day with McCollum being out. I don't know, though. I don't know if I want to pay down that much. We got Detroit versus Chicago. Like I said, Detroit close in the game. As of now, 7.5-point spread. I love Cunningham here. Vucevic, DeRozan. Probably go down to Dosunmu. Maybe a little bit of Andre Drummond, but I don't trust him enough. We just look at his minutes. They're fluctuating, is getting more than a point per minute. They brought him down to 5,200 last time. I mean, he's been up-priced. Tournaments, Drummond, I'm okay with, but I'm not in love with. But he's facing his old team, so if you revenge factor, if you go with that kind of game, maybe he has a good game against his old team. Then we got San Antonio versus Minnesota. Minnesota being a double-digit favorite right now. Still love me some Wemby. Anthony Edwards is absolutely on fire when we've used him. Karl Anthony Towns. If Gobert is out, that bumps Towns up for me even more. I would probably go down to Keldon Johnson as far as I would go down in this one. But I do love me some Wemby. I would take some Anthony Edwards. And I would be all over Towns even more if Gobert is in fact out. He's questionable. Feeling good. He probably does play. If he plays and he's good enough to play and he gets 30-plus minutes, I don't mind Gobert with his price and his matchup here. And then we've got Charlotte versus Milwaukee. This is what I'm scared of. Giannis is actually cheaper than, let's see, questionable. Knee is probable. Game log, yeah, he's playing the minutes. The fantasy points have kind of been down. He's had 4 straight games of 60 or less than 60 fantasy points. You'd need, for cash, you're looking for 6.5, 7 times value. Tournaments, 8, 8.5 or more. So looking at this, not 100%. With that because of his price, but he does have a good matchup. But again, if he's not 100% because of his knee and they do go up big on them and it is a blowout, they're going to pull him out quicker. That's where I'm a little bit scared of paying up that price. Is Ball, he won't play Sunday. Ball returned to practice. He's not played since 26. Probably doesn't play, but again, pay attention here. But if Giannis isn't 100%, love me some Damian Lillard, love me some Miles Bridges, Brandon Miller, Trey Mann, Nick Richards. Those are the guys I would look at. But if you're not paying up for that price, honestly, just kind of looking at the highest priced, Embiid being out 11,000, Giannis not 100%. We'll see. Doncic not 100%. I think Steph Curry might be one of my favorite plays today. As long as the game stays somewhat close or he's the one that does all the scoring, I don't mind Curry at 9,500. And we'll see if that makes any sense when we do fantasy points allowed. I did want to show you, we had a dominant Sunday. Have not posted the picks for Monday for football or basketball, but 6-0 Sunday. And very, very excited the way we've been going. A lot of green. I've been thinking of college basketball bets, but I don't know if you guys are interested. Also, I might do a March Madness bracket for like $5 or $10 a person. If you guys are interested in that, maybe I'll do a video, tweet that out. So, very excited for college basketball. March Madness coming up in a month. Very, very excited. Okay, so that being said, this is one way to build a lineup, not the only way to build a lineup. This is using one tool. We have a ton of tools on the site as well, but you guys have seemed to like it, whether or not, and you can make a lot of adjustments with this. So this right here is on the website under NBA and under points allowed by position. This is one way to do it. Again, doesn't take into effect any value that opens up throughout the day. Obviously, that's where we make some changes. But we look at this game. The Spurs give up the most amount of fantasy points to the opposing point guard. They give up an average of 56.9 fantasy points. 56.9 to opposing point guard. So San Antonio, we jump in here. Minnesota, Anthony Edwards. If you don't want to pay $9,500 for Steph, Anthony Edwards has a fantastic matchup here. We look at him, his minutes, they're there. We know. We're looking at his outage. We're looking at his price. Give me some Ant Edwards. Wouldn't be surprised if he scores the most today. Love me. Or wait a minute. It's not Anthony Edwards. He's a shooting guard. It would be completely mess that one up. Mike Conley. Monty Morris. Mike Conley being here at game log. 30 minutes, 25. I wouldn't use him. Yeah, I mean, you look at that, and then you see Washington gives up the next. So then it's Steph. So I'm paying, and this was what I said earlier, I'm paying for Steph. I want Steph at 9,500. The moves, like, if Anthony Edwards wasn't point guard, then I would put him just a bit over Curry there. But yeah, I'm looking at Steph right here, 100%. Move to the shooting guard position. Hopefully we can get it. But Atlanta, Utah. Atlanta's not playing. Utah is playing. So let's take a look. Utah, that's Atlanta. Actually, Atlanta and Utah are playing. So Atlanta gives up the first most amount to shooting guard. Utah gives up second. So that is shooting guard. So we can look at this. Let's take a look at both. You can see Atlanta gives up 47.1. Utah gives up 46.6. So it's very, very close. So is it going to be Bojanovic? You could look at Garrison Matthews. The minutes are not there. So he is out. Garrison Matthews is out. So basically it's Bojanovic and Colin Sexton is the two that we'd kind of be looking at back to back. So Colin Sexton being 6,500, Bojanovic being 6,300. They're basically averaging the same amount. And it's very, very close. So I don't think you could go wrong either way. The pricing is pretty close, 6,500, 6,300. So depending on what you want, like Bojanovic, we look at him. The minutes are there. They have bumped him up to 6,300, which is his most expensive. And then we look at Colin Sexton, who basically stayed around the same price. The minutes are lower, but he's had bigger games. So I'm probably going with Sexton here. I mean, you can't really go wrong. So Sexton at 6,500, or you can go Edwards at 9,000, or that could be a guard or a utility spot moving forward when you get through there. So we move to the small forward. You got Washington giving up the most, so then we go small forward here. Wait, did I miss it? Where's Golden State? Oh, right here. Golden State, Klay Thompson. Which Klay are we going to get? The minutes have been okay. The outages have been down. He just doesn't look, I don't know, he doesn't look right. Doesn't look the same. He had 23 actual points in their last game and only scored 28.5 fantasy points. Then against Utah, he had 35 points and 49 actual fantasy points at that 5,500. At 5,700, again, you're looking for 6, 6.5, 7, 7.5 times value, depending on what you're playing. Klay would be tournament for me. I don't trust him 100%. That's the problem. Then we got Utah next, giving up an average of 49.9. So we can see Atlanta. We've got Sadiq Bey at 5,900. I honestly, at 5,900 compared to Klay Thompson at that, I'm probably going with Sadiq Bey over him. DeAndre Hunter, we've got him. The minutes are there. He's had some good games. I think I want to go with some DeAndre Hunter here. I think cheaper option there. We're sticking around here. Again, this feels like one of those stars and scrubs lineup. I think I might pay up Curry and Ant Edwards and then build around that way. I just kind of want to see if we build through here, if that makes sense. So power forward, Atlanta gives up 53 fantasy points here, Utah. So they're back and forth giving up a ton. Atlanta gives up a ton here. So we look at that. Mark Cannon, John Collins, Taylor Hendricks. You put in Jalen Johnson, those prices. Taylor Hendricks would make sense at 4,100. Price has gone up a little bit. Hasn't done a ton, but again, you put him in there, and that's some value when you're building your lineup. So I'm going to go with Taylor Hendricks here. Again, this is a initial lineup. It probably will change depending on when some news comes out. So we see Washington gives up the most amount of fantasy points to opposing centers, 64.4. That would be Draymond. So if you go here, Golden State, Draymond at 6,400 has a fantastic matchup. Coming off kind of a stinker at 6,200. It's been up and down. Let's see if he's played Washington this year. No, he is not. So he's been very inconsistent. The minutes are like 20. The minutes kind of are inconsistent too. So if you don't want to go Draymond, maybe you don't trust him today, go to Atlanta. So we could go with, and this is one that I kind of like, but Utah Walker Kessler. Love me some Walker Kessler, especially at 4,800. A cheaper option. The minutes scare me a little bit, but I mean, his outage has been good. So if he could get 20 plus minutes, he has a great matchup. Depending. That's what I'm scared of, because he's not been the He's not going to be there. I don't think he's going to be the minutes aren't there. And then, man, you're at 7. Remember him earlier in the season when he went off for 37.25 at 4,700. It really dropped him down. The minutes just aren't there. I think but it's going to be between Kessler and John Collins. Collins is obviously the starter for center. Even when he's going up against Victor, he's still getting a ton of fantasy points. So I'm going with John Collins there. So then that brings us to a guard, a forward, and a utility spot. So like I said earlier, if we're pay up for possibly Ant Edwards at guard or wherever, then we average 46. So we've got to find the value, the $4,600 value somewhere. Where are we going to find it? Got to get a little creative here. So let's just open up to everybody. And then we go down to 4,600 for forward position. 4,600 if we come down here, like a Kyle Anderson at 4,700. Grant Williams against Milwaukee. The minutes, scared a little bit for these minutes. Nikhil Walker-Alexander. The minutes have been there. The outage has not been there with fantasy points. 11.5 his last game. Dorian Finney-Smith would be a value option on a back-to-back at 30 minutes. I don't know if the minutes are going to be there. But let's throw them in there for now. We'll just figure it out. And then if we need to change stuff, we will. So utility at 5,300. Al Horford against Philly, against his old team. Whether or not that means anything, I don't know. Wendell Carter, Jalen Suggs. I don't mind Jalen Suggs. Back-to-back 30-plus games, 5,300. I would go with Jalen Suggs. So this would be one of those kind of days where this is kind of a lineup. Again, not the only way to do it, not the only way to go about it, but one step, one tool to use that we have on the site. So if you want to go check out the rest of it out, FantasyTeamAdvisors.com is the site. Good luck on the slate. And as always, let's bring up some bacon. Peace.